because there's so many messages. I forgot to put in the Destiny and Free Will templates excerpt from Lessons of a Living Lumeria. This is Magenta Pixie being channeled by the collective consciousness of 9, which we talk about the love potion number 9, the twin flames here to bring them 9. Right? We're talking here about lessons from a living Lumeria. She says on the back, what is karma? Are there ways we can balance this and become karmic free? Is there a particular nutritional plan we should follow for ascension? Do we increase our karmic balance by eating certain foods? How can we utilize sex magic to work with karma and move through ascension? There are many lessons we can learn from the peoples of ancient Lumeria, a civilization that existed before our known history on planet Earth. As we move through an ascension process collectively, we move back into a new Lumeria, and we take with us all the knowledge we have accumulated since those times. In this transmission from the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, key codes are presented for cellular memory recall, linking the reader, or in this case, the listener, beyond Atlantis and into the harmonious frequencies of the first physical civilization on Earth, Lumeria. The 9 respond to questions using the Lemurian way as a template. Key-coded responses trigger activations within the listener as they receive the wisdom codes, standing as rainbow warriors of Gaia, moving into abundance, alchemy, and stargate ascension. Firstly, we would say remember that karma is a force that runs through you simply by virtue of being incarnated in physicality on planet Earth. It is not a punishment or a point system. Animals know that they are going to die, only from the perspective of the creation of the blueprint of their experiences. The individualization of the blueprint is much less than in a human incarnation, except in the case of domestic pets such as dogs, cats, rabbits, horses, and so on, that will be living in close proximity to the human family. So there is a group template for animals created with certain individualizations. This is created prior to the animal's incarnation. This is not as simple as the animal willingly gives of itself to be eaten. This would be in direct contradiction to the will to live and the resistance to death. However, this is not to say that the incarnating animal does not know on some level its destiny or its blueprint. The animal also has free will within that destiny in the shape of multiple possibilities and probability fields for the animal. The core experience is always for survival. In a harmonious planet, the blueprint would be created for the pack, herd, or group. Within that group, there would be few that are destined within most probable timelines for that group to give of themselves to feed another animal or human soul. They incarnate willingly in order to experience their reality and to experience destiny and free will as a human does. From that higher perspective, the soul, or the group soul, gives of their life force willingly to assist the overall planetary ecosystem based on the template of life force, consuming other life force. This would be destiny, if you will. However, that animal also incarnates with codes for free will, a core template for survival, and a higher will desire to live regardless of the blueprint of destiny from the higher level. From the perspective of the actual physically incarnated animal, no part of that animal knows it is going to die and freely gives of itself to feed another. The animal will fight and resist with all its might. So whilst there is truth in the comment made here, it is truth only from the higher dimension perspective, destiny, and not from the physical perspective, free will, due to the fact that the indigenous masters instinctively know all this through the connected conduits that are the wise women and the wise men of the tribes. Then the animal that is going to be consumed is very carefully selected. much ritual and divination would be done prior to the calling of that animal. The animal chosen to be the sacrifice for the indigenous tribe to consume would be called into their reality and communicated with telepathically. Then they would be sure to call them the animal that is the least destructive to the herd or group, such as an aging female who can no longer bear young for the group. With the fishing of seafood, there would be similar divination, but groups of fish or seafood would be taken from the sea at a time rather than an individual larger land animal. Often the tribal peoples would live on the berries, nuts, and fruits of the land until an animal actually presented itself in their path. Only then would that animal's life be taken to feed the tribe. So the precision, reverence, honor, and ritual was profound and specific. This would ensure that the contract between the animals giving their lives and the humans consuming their remained intact. This would become part of what is known as the circle of life. All this that we have just explained occurs within a fully functioning, balanced, and free-flowing, harmonious planet. This was the way for many Lumerians, indigenous peoples living in the past upon your planet. However, the food systems on your planet have been hijacked. The incarnational lines of the animals have been trapped as much as the human lives have been. All this is indeed in the process of change, yet for many years animals were forced to simply reincarnate over and over again to be incarnated into the slavery system of factory farming. This is a complete distortion of the incarnational journey for these groups of animals. They are unable to reach the place from where they can plan a group blueprint destiny for the incarnation, as those blueprints were stolen, if you will. This was to use the animals to create a death, pain, fear, toxicity within their flesh to market and feed to the human population. There are those upon your planet who expose the corruption of the meat, dairy, and egg industry, and they present to you that these corrupt industries put profit before the health of the people of Earth. This is true, yet at the topmost levels of this pyramidal structure, it is not profit that drives these factions, but complete control of the population, and ultimately prevention of ascension. I'm going to repeat that. There are those upon your planet who expose the corruption of the meat, dairy, and egg industry, and they present to you that these corrupt industries put profit before the health of the people of the earth. This is true. Yet at the topmost levels of this pyramidal structure, it is not profit that drives these factions. Listen, it's not money. It's complete control of the population, and ultimately prevention of ascension. This is the ultimate agenda: prevention of the reconstruction of your DNA memory fields back into the 144 configuration of light. The control grids, black box program, and inverted matrix trapping systems are breaking down in all areas. The way to become a true indigo light worker warrior, rainbow messenger, systems buster, and disruptor of this dark matrix, specific to this topic, is to cease purchasing and consuming these toxic foodstuffs that are the flesh of trapped animal souls, and upgrade to consuming ethically reared and sustainable farmed animal products, or better still, to become fully plant-based vegan. Got to watch vegan too, though. They've got GMO food. You can see now why we talk of karma and how you accumulate this when you consume these factory farmed animals. You take on the codes of the dark inverted matrix and the service to self structure when you consume the fear-based animal flesh. Does it not take the star seeds through a transmute this to transmute this? Can we not give gratitude and thanks on a large scale and continue to eat factory farmed meat, knowing we have released the animal's soul through our prayers? There is much contradiction here, we shall explain. That's a question placed on Facebook. Does it not take starseeds through a transmute this to transmute this? It's not making sense, but anyway. The majority of starseeds are following nicely aligned and activated guidance structures, which are the wise knowings within their own voice of their DNA. Many of these starseeds are already drawn towards the ethically raised animal products and the vegan lifestyle. In fact, the great majority of starseeds drawn to this transition are a match to this information simply because it is confirmation for them of their own knowings and higher guidance received. With the knowings these starseeds have comes the determination to end the suffering of the animals on this planet that they see as their friends. To a starseed holding a vegan philosophy, it is no different to them than the thought of eating a cow, a pig, a dog, or a cat. To them it is the same. Through their high-level love and compassion for the animals, they are already putting out a call for assistance in the cessation of the factory farming and the cruelty to the animals that they endure. Therefore, your combined prayers of gratitude for the animals' giving of themselves for your nourishment is not in alignment or in harmony with the compassionate call for the ending of their suffering. If any starseed were to attempt to give thanks and offer prayer to the animal, and it is always good to do this even when eating factory-farmed animal flesh, they would be able to feel the distortion. For what you do when you give thanks and prayer is connect telepathically with the animal, as the indigenous elders did. Instead of being able to choose the animal to feed your tribe, you would be met with the dark vibration of suffering, pain, fear, and death, and the extremely loud and continuous cry for help from these animals and from the starseed humans who consider them to be their friends. And that's the sound that's going on in your colon. So just having no food for a minute. Your prayers at this level will not release the animal's soul, for as we have said, there are hijacked animal group souls. However, we are not saying that these animal souls cannot be released. They can. How is this done? This is done by less and less individuals purchasing meat, dairy, and eggs from the factory-farmed sources. This drives trade and demand in other areas, such as sustainably raised animals and plant foods. Due to the movement towards ethical foods, some animal souls are being released from these trapping systems. Yet the service to self groups hold on tightly to this system as they see it as a major aspect of control over humanity. You will begin to see changes in the structure as more and more people become aware and make those changes. By 2021, there will be significant change in this area. There are many starseeds who have incarnated with a core mission to assist animals, and these core missions, in alignment with the ascension timeline, are coming to fruition more and more. Wow. What about the health benefits of eating meat, fish, dairy, and eggs? What if the individual needs to eat these things and they cannot access sustainably raised animal products? We would suggest you access the best quality foods that you can. Any health benefits within these factory-farmed animal products are outweighed by the toxicity within the animal's flesh and products that hold fear, pain, and death codes. Question. Reading this is also depressing. I am already a plant-based vegan and I don't need to be reminded of the suffering that goes on in a factory farming. Is there any good news at all? Because it all sounds just awful to me. Answer. Indeed, there is much good news, if you will. There are major changes occurring upon your planet as the Liberty templates begin to be activated. Dun-dun-dun-dun. We're doing it. The Liberty templates begin to be activated within the DNA. The Liberty templates hold the codes for freedom, and that includes animals. We understand that this information is difficult for a plant-based eater to hear, as they hold such high compassion within their fields. The light created by the high compassion you hold translates to being easily sensitive and upset whenever you hear about the suffering of animals. The majority of starseeds are incarnated with a natural love of animals. In fact, even the starseeds still eating factory-farmed meat hold love of animals. Many are not aware of the information we present here. Yet we understand that many of you are aware. The starseed community is as a wave with varying degrees of awareness in different subjects. Within this transmission, we are specifically responding to questions regarding karma and of the most appropriate diet for an ascending starseed. So what is the most appropriate diet for an ascending starseed? The Lumerian diet. We go back to the garden. So I'll continue this in the next reading. May God bless you in magical, wonderful ways, and know that you're a child of the Most High God, empowered and anointed by the Creator of the universe. A new love is coming your way today. In order to manifest this, you must first release the past. Are you ready? All it takes is a conscious desire to do so. I am ready for the new. You hold codes of life, everlasting life. May they activate today in God's own wonderful way. Thank you so much for watching, all your contributions and all your comments, likes and subscribes. You can look me up at reikibybella.com, where I can attune you to higher frequencies, heal your angelic fabric, your starseed of family origin, and connect you through your soul star, bring you a reading that you would not even believe, or activate you or heal you. So please reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video right here on the channel. I love you.